Welcome to UCTV News. I'm Grace Enright.
And I'm Ben Goldman. The university has launched a new Yukon alert site to provide the Yukon community with an improved emergency communications tool. This new site includes a real-time update of emergency status as well as a new what to do scenarios. University community members will still receive emergency alert text messages, emails, automated calls, blue lights, social media postings, and website banner alerts as well. However, all alerts will now direct users to the alert site, which is, by the way, alert.yukon.edu, where they can still view detailed information on the alert situation.
Legendary former Yukon men's soccer coach Joseph Maroney has passed away. Maroney, who built the program into a national power and won a national championship in 1981, died Wednesday at the age of 79. Maroney had pancreatic cancer and was told in May that he had 3 months to live.
And the University of Connecticut Student Health Services sponsored the 30th Annual Student Health and Wellness Fair, which took place on Fairfield Way earlier today. The purpose of the fair is to promote health and wellness education and prevention services here at UConn by partnering with on-campus health and wellness resources, as well as those from the surrounding community. Participating vendors wanted to increase awareness by providing educational materials and brief interactive presentations for all students who attended.
The Yukon women's basketball team, fresh off their third consecutive national championship, were at the White House yesterday as they were honored by President Barack Obama.
As some of you may be aware, this is Coach's 10th championship. This is this team's third visit in a row. They are now certified to provide White House tours. I was telling folks this is becoming like the annual Christmas tree lighting. And we do this every year around this time.
The Huskies, who finished their 2014-2015 season 38-1, have made 10 visits to the White House under head coach Gino Auriemma and will be looking to make it 11 when their season gets underway on November 16th against Ohio State.
Well, last week it was announced that a new student recreation center, which has been in the works for many years, is finally being built here on campus. UCTV's Abby Mace has the story.
Every UConn student received an email last week that the location for the new Student Recreation Center has been chosen. It will be built on the site where the Connecticut Commons Residence Hall, the oldest on campus, currently stands. The new 200,000 square foot facility will replace the current 50,000 square foot one and will feature a large fitness center, 5 basketball courts, a running track, and many other flexible spaces to support UConn's recreation programs.
Remember, a lot of this too is we talk about academic success, and we talk about investment in academics and investment in this beautiful university. So to remain competitive, and recreation is another area. When students consider going to school, one of the top 3 choices is satisfaction with recreation services, and does the university have a recreation center, and how do the prospective students feel about that?
USG President Rachel Conboy sent out the email to students and says the process of making this new facility will be based heavily on what the UConn student community wants out of it.
USG started about 4 or 5 years ago. We were actually the people that brought it to the Board of Trustees. So I'm one of 4 presidents who have worked on this project. And we passed a statement of position saying that we wanted this rec center to be built, and we would only support the student fee if it was delayed until doors were open, if it was a certain amount of square feet, and if there was a student advisory board for the building and programming of the building when it opened.
Construction for the already approved $100 million facility will open in 2017, but the fee will not be implemented until the new building opens its doors in fall of 2019. For UCTV News, I'm Abby Mace.
So this new rec center is going where CTC is. How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna miss CTC. I like CTC.
And I think the rec center now is so small that so
Yes.
many people want to work out, and there's just not enough space.
It'll be nice to have more space, that's for sure.
Can't wait. Well, coming up, find out what's going on in the rest of our state. Stay tuned. UCTV News will be right back. An Oklahoma appellate court granted a 2-week stay of execution for Richard Glossop just hours before he was scheduled to die on Wednesday. The Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals issued the order about 3 hours before his scheduled execution for the 1977 death of motel owner Barry Van Treese. This move came amid concerns about his trial and the way the state planned to execute him. The appellate court said it needed some time to consider several motions that Glossop's attorneys made less than 24 hours before the scheduled execution. The order resets the execution date to September 30th.
2 more bodies were found in the burn zone of a wildfire raging north of San Francisco, authorities said Thursday. This discovery brings the death toll from a pair of wildfires in California to 5. The remains found today are presumed to be those of Leonard Neft, a retired reporter for the San Jose Mercury News, and Bruce Burns. The so-called Valley Fire is still only 35% contained and has destroyed almost 600 homes.
And a hearing has begun to determine if Sergeant Bo Bergdahl should face a military trial for leaving his post in Afghanistan back in June of 2009. The Article 32 hearing at Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio will determine if the Idaho native will face a court-martial on several charges of desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. Now, Bergdahl's lead attorney, Eugene Fiddle, says his plans to call a witness during the hearing, which could last several days. It's now unclear at this point if Bo Bergdahl will be one of the witnesses called.
5 fraternity brothers of Pi Delta Psi are being charged with third-degree murder after the hazing death of Baruch College freshman Sean Michael Dang. The brothers were initiating the new member with what is known as the glass ceiling, where the initiate is forced to carry a backpack full of 30 pounds of sand through the snow blindfolded while fighting their way through a wall of brothers. Dang supposedly fought back against the crowd until he was beaten unconscious and later died due to a lack of medical help.
And it's just so sad to hear a story like that and see that that's going on around the country. It just makes your heart break.
Yeah, it's so sad. You know, the kids are so young. They're just freshmen. They want to meet new people.
That's not what Greek life is about.
Definitely.
Well, coming up, find out the latest on the 2016 race for the White House. We'll have that much and much more. Stay tuned. One person who did a great job at last night's debate was Carly Fiorina, and she's been surging in recent polls, and she drew wild applause at the second Republican presidential debate for her response to a remark made by Donald Trump that seemed to undercut her physical appearance. Quote, "I think women all over the country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said." Now, Carly Fiorina said this, and Trump had told Rolling Stones magazine, "Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that? Can you imagine that face of our next president?" The real estate mogul later said in his comments, referencing Fiorina's persona, not her attractive.
President Obama welcomed the 3 Americans who thwarted a terrorist attack on a passenger train headed to Paris last month into the Oval Office today, crediting their courage and teamwork for pinning down the gunman and saving countless lives. The president said he was pleased to have the opportunity to shake the hands of Airman First Class Spencer Stone, Specialist Alex Skarlatos, and Anthony Sadler.
And a last-ditch GOP attempt to derail the Iran nuclear deal failed in the Senate on Thursday, and defeated Republicans said that they would move on and leave the fight against the Iran Accord to the next president. Senators voted 53 to 44 to block a measure preventing the Obama administration from lifting sanctions against Iran unless the country recognizes Israel as a state and releases American hostages. Now, a second vote on a disapproval resolution against the deal also fell short on a count of 56 to 42. And in both cases, 60 votes were needed to advance the final passage, but minority Democrats largely held together to prevent it. And this is something that we're hearing a lot of candidates for president talk about, this Iran deal.
I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about it as we go on.
So coming up, we'll take a look at This Week in UConn Sports. Stay tuned. UCTV News. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ty by Siri, and today we're checking out Lizzie's Curbside, who has been serving breakfast and lunch outside the Arjona building on UConn campus for 24 years. This gem has been featured on NBC and the Connecticut Bride magazine for the variety of soups, salads, sandwiches, and more. Let's check out what the buzz is about. Hey Lizzie, what you cooking today?
Hey, how are you? I'm making a shroom.
Shroom? What's in a
The
shroom?
shroom is our biggest seller.
All
It's
right.
egg, fresh mushrooms, Swiss cheese with a dill scallion sauce, and a knock your socks off.
Oh my god. This is a real.
Right? Nice fresh salmon. Salmon BLT.
So I hear you cater locally too?
Cater locally in the area. I cater on campus. I'm a licensed caterer on campus. We do weddings, we do banquets, we do barbecues. We have an office in West Hartford.
Look, you got a lot going on.
Got a lot going on.
Great. All right, so we've talked to Lizzie. Let's see what the customers have to say.
Everything that Lizzie makes is delicious.
What do you think? Awesome.
Yeah, I get pretty tired of the same old food on campus every day, so this is a really good way to switch it up.
Yeah, definitely.
The hummus sandwich with hellish relish is bang.
They even have delicious vegan and gluten-free options, like a black bean burger with fresh avocado.
This is delicious.
I always smell something amazing cooking.
I'm having a grilled salmon sandwich. It's amazing!
You've got to stop by and try this. Check out Lizzie's Curbside Cuisine, open from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. outside of Arjona.
The number 24 UConn women's soccer team, who are currently 6-1 on the season, will face off against nearby Central Connecticut this Friday in New Britain. The Huskies are coming off their first loss of the season to number 19 Rutgers and look to get back on a winning streak. UConn leads the all-time series with Central Connecticut at 12-1. The two last met during the 2014 season when the Huskies defeated the Blue Devils 3-1 on the road. The number 1 UConn field hockey team will play Lafayette this Sunday at 2 p.m. Star forward Charlotte Veitner was named the Big East Offensive Player of the Week for the third straight time this past Monday. She leads the team and league with 14 goals and 29 points. UConn is the only team that remains undefeated in the Big East and is one of only 5 teams nationally yet to record a loss. Don't forget to check out UC Sports on Tuesday night for more analysis of this week in UConn sports. Stay tuned now for more UCTV news.
That does it for us tonight here at UCTV News.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at UCTV News for constant updates from around the UConn campus, and tune in on Monday for another edition of UCTV News.